Okay, hello. In this video, I want to talk to you about something really simple, really exciting. I'm just really excited about it, and it's very, very simple, basically. What do you do when you don't have a place to take a dump? This is the easy way and the fast way to get started with dry toilets immediately after just 10 minutes of building something. So, what you basically need is a bucket. We get these sauce buckets that you get from the French fry places. They give it away for free. So it's a 30-liter, it's a 10-liter bucket. So it's a 10-liter bucket. You take the lid and you make a hole. I think this is about, not sure how much this is, maybe like not quite sure. This big of a hole, you have to see what's comfortable for you. My favorite way to make holes in bucket lids is with a circular compass, a circular cutter. I like very much the ones with a knife, not the one with a little roller knife, but the one with just like a cutter knife. So I find it much easier. And so you make your hole, and then you get a second lid. These buckets here in this country are not recycled, they're sent to the incinerator. So basically, if you recuperate it, you can, so you need a second lid. Second lid is used just for closing. And you're ready to go. It's a perfect size for bringing in your car or for carrying around. It's not too heavy. Great for kids. And what you put inside, so here there's a mixture of dried coffee grind, and there's also a lot of wood chips that I recuperated from a friend who does wood carving. There's like old dried out tissues. Basically, you can use anything that's organic and that is dry, like organic matter. Dry leaves or anything dry, and it's good to have a mixture between really fine stuff and like bigger stuff to structure and create aeration, and finer stuff just to really absorb the liquids. And basically, if you have enough organic like carbon matter to absorb your stuff and to surround your stuff, basically there won't be any smells. It'll all get taken care of before you put it in a compost that you use specifically for that, and that you do for cycles of 2 years, just to really make sure that whatever needs to be taken care of is taken care of by the worms and all the different bacteria, etc. Other precautions to take, of course, is then after 2 years, when you then use the compost, you put it somewhere that's not going to be used for your salads or anything that'll be in direct contact with the earth. But the best is for trees that have fruits or other vegetables that you will for sure cook. Now, because it's you, it's your body, it's your waste, you know yourself, you know what kind of chemicals you might be ingesting. So you know if you're taking meds or if you're taking hormones or whatever, or a lot of antibiotics or stuff like that. You might want to be much more careful and use the compost created for that effect. There are bugs that break those things down, but I'm not going to mention anything about that right on this video. But what I am going to mention is, do not hesitate when you fill your bucket the first time to fill it with organic matter, like 3/4. From the start. You can also use brown cardboard, because then it'll just suck up. If you just use it a little bit after each of what you're doing, it's just not going to be enough, and you're just going to have a bucket of brown, smelly liquids that's going to be horrible to deal with. But if you fill it already up, and you get into the habit of getting organic matter wherever you find it. When there's dry leaves on the street, you take it. When each time you have an opportunity, well, you always keep some stock, and you always make sure that you go up to there. And so then it just sucks everything up. You just have to add stuff on the top at the end, and it's just amazing. I use personally at home a 30-liter one, so that's a bigger bucket that I did exactly the same process with. And I put some foam stuff for the handles because it tends to get heavy. I do separate urine from harder stuff because I don't find it very practical to bring down every week a huge bucket full of liquids from the second floor down to the compost. So I have a different system to handle the urine, which I can talk about in another video, but that's my personal preference. And here we go. About a week ago, I watched a documentary about toilets, and I heard that after Fukushima, there was no more, the catastrophe, there was no more running water. And so the toilets didn't have running water. And because Japanese society is very, very embarrassed and has a lot of shame around all this stuff, some people died of blood poisoning because they just held back for so many weeks from going to the toilet that it ended up just building up so many, waste that it ended up poisoning their blood. And so there was a few deaths related to that. And when you realize it's as easy to handle your own shit by basically doing a system like that and by knowing a little bit of the science behind it, we know that if ever we end up in a situation where our toilets don't work for some reason, we are not in some kind of sanitary disaster that will end up killing the whole household. So basically, it's really important and liberating to know how to be able to safely upcycle your own waste. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, please leave them.